Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever wondered if a coworker has a crush on you? Today we're diving into those subtle signs that might reveal if Brenda from accounting is really into your stapler collection. Figuring out if someone likes you is hard enough, but in the workplace, it's a whole other level of complicated. So, if you've ever wondered if that extra attention from a coworker means something more, stick around. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more interesting content. We're about to decode the secret language of office crushes. Picture this. You're at the coffee machine and there they are, your potential office crush. They always seem to be around. Maybe they're not even big coffee drinkers, but suddenly they're asking you about your favorite blend. Or maybe they're always striking up conversations about anything, the weather, the latest office memo, that cute dog video you shared 3 months ago. If someone's going out of their way to talk to you, even about things that would bore a potted plant, it might just be a sign they're interested in hearing your voice. So, if your coworker is always finding reasons to chat, it might be their way of saying, "Hey, I kinda like you." Have you ever mentioned something to a coworker in passing and then completely forgotten about it? Like, "Oh yeah, I'm allergic to peanuts." If your potential office crush not only remembers these little details but brings them up later, it's time to pay attention. It means they're not just hearing your words, they're actually absorbing them. When you're interested in someone, you hang on their every word, right? You want to know everything about them. So if your coworker is throwing out random facts about your life, it's a pretty good sign they're paying attention, and that attention might be fueled by a little thing called a crush. Let's talk about those coworkers who are always willing to lend a helping hand. You mention you're swamped with work, and they magically appear, cape billowing in the air-conditioned breeze. If your coworker is practically tripping over themselves to help you with your tasks, especially if it means going above and beyond their job description, it might be time to raise an eyebrow. These acts of service are a classic sign of someone who's trying to impress you. So, if your coworker is always there to lend a helping hand, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I think you're pretty great, and I'd love to help you out." Everyone loves a good compliment, right? It's like a little burst of sunshine for your soul, a small gesture that can brighten your entire day. In the workplace, compliments can play a crucial role in building a positive environment. They can boost morale, enhance teamwork, and even increase productivity. But when it comes to the workplace, there's a fine line between a friendly compliment and a flirty one. It's important to be mindful of how your words might be perceived. If your coworker is constantly showering you with praise, it might be time to break out the sunscreen because you're in compliment city. This could mean they genuinely appreciate your efforts and want to acknowledge your hard work. I'm talking about noticing the subtle details like a new haircut, a fresh outfit, or even a new pair of glasses. A change in your makeup or a new accessory that adds a touch of flair to your look. Or even the fact that you managed to match your socks that day. These small observations can make you feel seen and appreciated. When we have a crush on someone, we tend to notice everything about them, and we want them to feel good. Compliments become a way to connect and show that we care. So if your coworker is constantly complimenting you, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I think you're pretty amazing." It's their subtle way of expressing admiration and perhaps even affection. Let's talk about those not-a-date dates. You know, the ones where your coworker suggests hanging out, but it's all framed around work. If your coworker is suddenly suggesting you grab lunch together, even though you've never done that before, it might be a sign they're looking for some quality time with you outside the office walls. Maybe they want to discuss a project in a more relaxed setting or just get to know you better. Maybe they're inviting you to after-work drinks with colleagues, turning a simple happy hour into an opportunity to bond and share stories beyond the usual work talk. Suggesting you carpool to that upcoming conference, which not only saves on travel costs but also gives you both a chance to chat and connect during the ride. Or even asking if you want to join them for a quick coffee break. It's a small gesture, but it can mean a lot in terms of building rapport and camaraderie. The key here is that they're finding reasons to spend time with you outside of the usual work setting. These moments can be great for strengthening your professional relationship and even forming a genuine friendship. So if your coworker is suddenly suggesting all sorts of work-related outings, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I enjoy your company, and I'd love to spend more time with you." It's a subtle but meaningful way to build connections and make the workplace a more enjoyable environment. Time to channel our inner detectives and look for those telltale signs of nervousness. If your coworker suddenly transforms into a human fidget spinner whenever you're around, it might be a sign that you're having that effect on them. We're talking about fidgeting with their hair, playing with their pen, adjusting their glasses every 5 seconds, or maybe even blushing when you make eye contact. When we're nervous, our bodies tend to betray us, our heart races, our palms sweat, and we can't seem to sit still. So, if your coworker turns into a nervous wreck whenever you're around, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, you make me a little nervous." In a good way, I hope. Let's talk about the power of touch. It's a subtle yet profound way we communicate with each other, often without even realizing it. If your coworker is finding excuses to make physical contact, even in the most innocent of ways, it might be a sign they're trying to bridge the gap between just colleagues and maybe something more. These touches can be very telling. We're talking about a gentle pat on the back, which can be a gesture of support or camaraderie. A brush of the arm when you're walking side by side, which might seem accidental but could be intentional. Or maybe even lingering a little longer than necessary when handing you a document. These small gestures can carry a lot of meaning. Touch is a powerful form of communication. It can break down barriers and create a sense of closeness. It can convey warmth, connection, and even attraction. These subtle touches can sometimes speak louder than words. So the next time your coworker accidentally brushes against you, take a moment to consider the context. Pay attention to your reaction. How does it make you feel? What is your immediate response? It might just be a sign that there's something more to those accidental touches than meets the eye. Sometimes, these small gestures can be the beginning of a deeper connection. Let's talk about special treatment. If your coworker is rolling out the red carpet for you, even in the smallest of ways, it might be a sign that you're their office VIP. We're talking about things like saving you the best seat in the meeting room, offering you the first slice of cake at the office birthday party, or even just remembering your coffee order. When we like someone, we often go out of our way to make them feel special. So if your coworker is treating you like the VIP you are, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I think you're pretty amazing, and I want to make sure you know it." Let's talk about the art of playful teasing. If your coworker is always teasing you in a playful, good-natured way, it might be a sign that they're flirting with you, even if they don't realize it themselves. We're talking about the kind of teasing that's lighthearted, fun, and always done with a twinkle in their eye. When we like someone, we often tease them as a way of flirting. It's our way of showing that we're paying attention and that we find them amusing. So, if your coworker is always making you laugh with their witty banter, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I think you're cute and I enjoy our little back and forth." Let's talk about personal questions. If your coworker is suddenly showing a keen interest in your personal life, asking about your hobbies, your family, your hopes and dreams, it might be a sign that they're trying to get to know the real you. We're talking about questions like, what do you like to do for fun? Do you have any siblings? What's on your bucket list? When we like someone, we want to know everything about them. We're curious about their passions, their history, their hopes and dreams. So, if your coworker is asking you personal questions, it might just be their way of saying, "Hey, I'm intrigued by you and I want to get to know you better." Thanks for watching. If you noticed any of these signs, you might have a secret admirer at work. Or maybe they're just really, really into staplers. Either way, it's always nice to feel appreciated, right? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Share your own office crush stories in the comments below. We promise to keep them confidential. See you next time.